Welcome to a world where shootings, kidnappings and gang warfare are just part of the job. We're going on the journey to meet the real deal. Law enforcers who put their lives on the line every day, patrolling the most dangerous beats on the planet. So buckle up, because we're about to roll with the world's toughest cops. Murder, political unrest, armed robbery, drugs and terrorism. Just part of everyday life in the Philippines. At the heart of this country, made up of 7,000 islands, lies Manila, a teeming metropolis of crime. The police here have a saying: when you become a cop, half of you is already dead.
I'd rather die in action than retire.
Ayan, takbo. Ayan, baba. The people here are frightened if the SWAT are coming.
May the force be with you.
I could say that I'm a top cop.
Oh, let's go.
Bungay kamay! Ha!
Located in Southeast Asia, the Philippines has a population of 90 million people. 1.6 million of them live in the capital city of Manila. A heaving mass of people, commerce, poverty and crime. In the midst of the madness lies Tondo, one of the most densely populated districts in the world, with over 500,000 people living in an area of just over 9 square kilometres. And in the first 5 months of 2008, there have already been 15 murders here. At night, it's at its most dangerous. And it's the job of the officers at Tondo Station to police this sprawling and crime-ridden area. Officer Christopher Lanes is starting his night shift. He's been serving with the Manila Police for 9 years. His job is a highly dangerous one. In the last year, over 100 of his fellow officers in the Philippines National Police have been killed on duty. His shift is just a couple of minutes old when there is a report of an armed robbery.
We have to go now, okay?
Lanes and 2 officers head out to the scene of the crime.
We are on the street of Juan Luna, proceeding to the incident.
It's not long before they encounter their second biggest problem after crime: traffic. Manila's streets are gridlocked.
Back to balik tayo sa parola. Abante nyo, abante! Saan ba yung hold-upan dito? Sino may nakakuha na bang pulis? May inaano ba?
Lanes gets out on foot to look for the robbers.
Meron pa ba doon sa kabila? Sa kabila pa ba? Ang ano po? Yung hold-upan? Kanina lang pong maaga-aga.
But they seem to have slipped into the chaos. Lanes continues his patrol, heading into the Parola, a slum area called Isla Puting Bato, one of the most dangerous parts of the city. Especially for the police. Two years ago, Lanes was shot here when in pursuit of an armed robber.
At saan sa panay, one hitman they called Banjo, named Banjo. After we have chased them and cornered him, He fired me 3 times and I've been hit here in left legs. I hit here and out with 45 caliber.
Lainez's partner saved his life by killing the gunman.
My body shot in the stomach. It's not my time. I think it's my good luck. Good luck.
Tonight it's just a routine patrol, but in this part of Manila, it's best to expect the unexpected. This slum housing situated on the edge of the Manila Bay is perched on stilts, surrounded by a sea of sewage. It's home to 6,000 families of squatters and is a haven for drug dealers and users. Deep inside, they find a drug den. It's not long been abandoned.
This is where the place. Sometimes they use the drug paraphernalia.
Whoever was here was able to see the cops coming.
As this a mirror, they can see us. So if they were coming, they jump the water. Here, they jump here in the sea, then swim under the houses.
They have escaped through what is effectively an open sewer. Not quite a clean getaway. Two hours later, and Lainez is on the hunt for yet another armed robber. Robbery and theft account for 40% of the crimes committed in the Philippines. A couple have been mugged by 3 men at knife point. Lainez is taking them with him so that they can identify the perpetrators.
We're going to Pier 2 where the victims is been hold up. 3 persons having a knife. Doon. Ikat mo. Ay, dito doon pala.
Suddenly, he spots 3 suspects who fit the description.
Ayan, tatlo. Ayan, baba.
The chase is on. They flee into the narrow, dark and filthy alleyways of the Parola.
They escape.
With just a torch to guide him, it's almost impossible for Lainez to see anything. Deep inside the Parola, in the pitch black, Lainez's partner catches up with one of the suspects.
Pangalan mo? May ID ka? Saan ka?
The man has no identification on him and will be taken back to the station for questioning.
I don't think twice. If people need help with us, we go and respond what any kind of incident. I take risks. It's our part of our job, taking risks, just caught bad elements, bad criminals.
This suspect has come quietly, but when criminals use force, Lainez is prepared to fight fire with fire.
I'm happy when these people, bad criminals, been dead here. Very happy to eliminate those bad criminals.
Because in Manila, all too often the cops have to make the ultimate sacrifice. We're with the toughest cops in Manila, the capital of the Philippines, where violent crime is spiralling out of control. This vast metropolis is embroiled in a deadly conflict. This is a country with more than 800,000 legal and 500,000 illegal firearms in circulation. Budget handguns can be bought for as little as $15 US. And so it's no surprise that armed robbery is rife. In just 1 month alone, 19 people were killed during robberies. 2 of them were cops. The force has come together to bury their 2 dead colleagues. Senior Officer Jose Ismael Santos and Officer Francisco Neri were gunned down in a shootout with armed robbers.
At sa mga pinuno po ng PNP, sana po, hanapin niyo po yung pumatay sa aking asawa para po kami ng kanyang mga anak. Manahimik ka rin po. Yun lang po ang masasabi ko. Salamat po.
The Mayor of Manila has given the force a clear instruction. Drop everything and track the killers down. Detective Stephen Cosimiro of the Homicide Department has been assigned to the case.
The suspects made sure that these policemen were dead by shooting them in the head. It's a brutal killing. That's why we are working around the clock. Here in Manila, we make sure that whenever a policeman was killed, we work very hard to find the suspects.
Cosimiro has come to the crime scene.
This is the exact place where one of the policemen was killed. He lay dead here when we arrived at this place.
On a crowded street in broad daylight, a lawyer carrying £10,000 was shot and stabbed repeatedly in his car by the gunman. The 2 officers heard the shots and went straight to the scene, where a truck was parked in the street.
The suspects were in front of the truck, and the policemen were at the back of the truck. And this is the place where engage each other with their gunfire.
The 2 officers died from multiple wounds. Cosimiro is looking for witnesses to the triple murder.
A lot of people see this thing happen.
The problem he faces is that people are scared to talk.
Ito yung mga litrato. Yung mga bago tayong litrato. Sometimes we have some difficulty of convincing these people to give information. Ito. They fear for the suspect. So we have to talk to them cautiously so that we can convince them.
No guns, no chases, just questions, but no answers. This is one of the toughest jobs a cop can face. The Philippines is no stranger to political unrest. It has witnessed dictatorship, martial law, and multiple attempts to overthrow the government. Since the government of infamous dictator Ferdinand Marcos was overthrown by the People Power Revolution in 1986, there have been around a dozen uprisings or coup attempts. times of national emergency, the police call in their most elite unit, the Special Action Force.
May the force be with you.
The Special Action Force is an elite unit and is modelled on the British SAS. They were called into action in November 2007 when a group of renegade Philippine soldiers attempted to overthrow the government. They were already on trial for a previous mutiny 4 years earlier, but broke out of court. And along with 300 heavily armed soldiers, barricaded themselves into a hotel and called for a change in government. In response, 1,500 troops surrounded the hotel. Leading them were officers from the Special Action Force. The mutineers were given a deadline to surrender as civilians were evacuated from the hotel. After the deadline passed, SAF soldiers prepared to storm the building. Gunshots were exchanged between the police and the rebel soldiers. Then an armoured personnel carrier was brought in, which first fired on and then stormed the hotel lobby. The mutineers were arrested without anyone being killed or injured. For the SAF, the mission was a success. Today, the latest batch of recruits are undergoing the commando course. Part of the training is called Hell Week, which does exactly what it says on the tin, including 2 30-kilometre runs a day in full kit.
Warriors 48, Warriors 48, Warriors 48, Warriors 48, Warriors 48, Warriors 48.
Specialist training involves close-quarter combat with a variety of weapons. Drill Sergeant Mark Ballesteros is putting the recruits through their paces.
So today you will learn about night fighting, Yes, and everything about its technique, to include the harness.
Harness is the term for the Filipino fighting arts.
Next is jumping attack. Ready? Jump. Jump high, jump low. Rope jump, then splinter jump. Okay, ready?
Yes, it is the jabbing technique. It is not, the enemy is not so close to you. You have to reach through the knife, just like that.
As well as knife fighting techniques, the commandos learn how to use more traditional weapons. They are taught the ancient martial art of stick fighting.
Students are already proficient in knife fighting and in stick fighting. But if you are asking about the mastery of the skill, it will take years.
Rookie Jackie Rance has 1 month left of the 6-month-long course. She joined up because she felt an inner urge to be part of the SAF.
It's a calling, and we think that this is our fate, so we are training hard for it to save ourselves and save the people. It's really fulfilling on my part because belonging in a man's world. Actually, even my daughter calls me Superwoman because I can be with the man. So it's really fulfilling for me, and I think also it's very fulfilling for them, for the other women.
Jackie and her fellow female recruits are hoping to join the 303 women officers currently serving in the SAF.
I could say that I'm a tough cop. Okay, we've just undergone a combat maneuver. We have been in the mountains for 7 days. No, we've been trying hard to climb the mountains, reach the target that that have been assigned to us. And I think that's one of the evidences to prove that we are all women here are tough.
Back at Homicide, Detective Cosimero and his team have received a tip-off. One of the suspects in the double cop murder has been treated for gunshot wounds in a hospital just outside Manila. He might still be there, so they're not taking any chances.
Come on, let's go.
He should be vigilant and careful when we are approaching the vicinity of the reported clinic, since the reported suspect might have been confined in that clinic, and his companion may be also there.
They make a quiet arrival at the hospital.
Yung kung may dinala rito nung May 12.
May 12.
Shooting. May 12. Okay, basa mo nga kung meron dumating ditong nabaril sa hita. Ayun, oh. Nasaan to?
Puta, alas 12, pare.
Oo, positive to, pare.
The man they're after definitely checked in. But is he still there? The hospital manager delivers the news that they don't want to hear. He's no longer there. The trio appears to have gone cold.
He was treated there in that hospital, and after several hours he was discharged against the advice of the doctor.
But Cosimero is determined to catch the killers.
I like to meet them.
What will you say to them when you meet them?
I don't know what we will be talking about, but I'm sure I'm glad to see them. I'll be glad to see them.
The cops in Manila are facing a huge challenge. Not only are they fighting kidnapping and drug trafficking, but the threat of terrorism hangs heavy. Since the turn of the millennium, Islamic extremist groups have killed or injured more than 1,700 people in the Philippines. Separatist groups, including Abu Sayyaf, are demanding a separate Islamic state, independent of the mostly Catholic Philippines. In 2004, Abu Sayyaf was responsible for the bombing of a passenger ferry in which 113 people were killed. Because the government of the Philippines has close links with the West, this has made it a target for anti-American aggression from these groups, which are linked to Al-Qaeda. This man has been at the forefront of Manila's fight against terrorism.
All you need is kick it. Like that, okay?
Jojo de la Cruz is part of the SWAT team. He's a man who lives for the job but he's not afraid to die doing it.
I'd rather die in action than retire. I never wanted to retire. I'd rather be dead in that first burst of fire. I will be very happy or very, very proud to be there lying than retiring without doing anything for my career as being a SWAT personnel.
SWAT were involved in a bloody battle with Islamic terrorists at Camp Beijing Jail in March 2005. Militant prisoners snatched weapons from guards, killing 3 of them in an attempt to escape. After a day-long siege, the police stormed the prison. 22 prisoners and 1 policeman were killed during the operation.
You use this one and this one.
In 2003, Jojo was part of a special task force. It was put together to catch the Philippines' most wanted terrorist. Indonesian Fatur Algozi had been responsible for one of the worst terror atrocities Manila had ever witnessed. In December 2000, 5 near simultaneous bomb attacks hit the city. 22 people were killed and 120 were injured. He was arrested in January 2002 and confessed to planning the bombings. But the following July, he escaped from prison and fled to the south of the country.
We were ordered by the president to hunt him down.
Jojo and 3 fellow operatives spent 2 months chasing shadows.
Unbelievable, like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Then, with the help of an informant, they were able to find their target.
Eventually, we were able to get Algozi. He was training young bombers in the south.
They provided the informant with a car, which was given to Algozi. Now Jojo almost had his man.
I installed a tracking device underneath. So we were monitoring that vehicle from the first day we give it to him to the last.
On the 12th of October 2003, Jojo's team were informed that Algozi was on the move. He was attempting to leave the Philippines. The team went to intercept his vehicle and flagged it down. The driver ignored the signal and a chase ensued. Jojo and his men blocked the vehicle and were met with 2 gun bursts. They returned fire.
He was given a burst of shot in the fatal mass of his body. When we saw him trying to get a hand grenade from his pocket, it was a clear encounter with Algozi, who was trying to evade arrest and at the same time trying to inflict damage or casualty to our ranks.
But the duties of the SWAT team are not confined to special ops. They have to carry out regular day-to-day duties just like normal cops. The motorcycle unit are a highly visible presence on the streets of Manila.
The people here are frightened if the SWAT are coming.
People scared of you?
Yeah.
Erwin Unay is one of the cops who regularly patrols Manila on his bike.
Since I was young, I always been to become a policeman.
Many crimes are carried out by felons on motorbikes. In just 3 months in 2008, the Philippines witnessed 424 crimes committed with the use of bikes. 150 of them involved shootings, including 50 murders. With only 10% of these two-wheeled incidents being solved, they need to be proactive and not reactive.
We are conducting a choke point here. We are looking for guns like 9mm, 45, or bladed weapons. They are armed. They are armed, and they fight. They fight the police. They have no respect on the police. I'm afraid of being shot. But to perform my duty, that's one of the riskiest thing in our job as a SWAT team.
What if every day of your working life, you never knew what was around the next corner?
Senior SWAT member Jojo Dela Cruz knows all too well about the risks of being a cop. When he was 7 years old, an event took place that would change his life forever. He witnessed his father, who was a criminal, take revenge on a police officer who had beaten him up.
When he saw that policeman doing traffic in the middle of the street, in front of my eyes, I really remember this. That policeman was shot by my father.
The officer was killed.
One thing that I cannot forget is my father being dragged by policemen along that long path, followed by my mother, and they both disappeared in the darkness.
Jojo was taken into the care of his uncle, who was a police officer.
We used to play with the children of other officers. That's the time when I really fell in love of being a policeman. When something very bad happens in your past, you will always make sure that it will not happen to you, right? I focused my direction to the right path.
22 years later, and despite having a wife and 2 children, Jojo is still very much married to the force.
Yeah, how much time do you spend at home?
Almost no time at all. You know, you see what sacrifice you need to do when you're a member of a SWAT team? I don't remember anymore how my bed looks like.
With over 36,000 kilometers of coastline, the Philippines is a paradise for smugglers. Drugs are a major problem here. 6.7 million Filipinos are drug dependents. It's also the crystal meth capital of the world, or as it's known in the Philippines, Shabu. It generates more than $4 billion a year in illegal revenue. The Philippines is also a transit point for the export of the drug to Japan, Australia, and the US. Superintendent Mariano is part of Manila's drug squad. He and his team are about to conduct a sting operation on suspected Shabu dealers in the Pedican district in the southwest of the city, an area notorious for drug dealing.
We have received an information to our informants that the suspect now is now selling shabu. So we have to make some immediate operation so that we can arrest the suspect. Because maybe after 1 hour, his stuff will be gone.
They must move quickly. Mariano's officers have to buy the drugs from the suspected dealers to make an arrest.
These my operatives. They are conducting some briefing so how to arrest the pusher. In that car, the team leaders giving instruction to the police officers, especially to the pusher buyer, the one who will be buying drugs to the pusher.
The pusher buyer is the term for the undercover cop who will buy the drugs during the sting.
When the pre-arranged signal of the pusher buyer, immediately all of the operatives will gather to assist the pusher buyer in arresting the drug pusher.
The operation is a dangerous one for the officers involved.
We have received a report that there's some drug pushers carrying firearms.
Now all Mariano can do is sit and wait for the call. "15 tense minutes later, the undercover cops call for backup.
Going. There's a call from the police officers there that we have to go immediately.
The sting has been a success. 2 pushers have been arrested for dealing shabu. One thing Mariano is always wary of is corruption. Pushers will attempt to bribe officers in order to let them go, but he won't allow any dirty cops to operate on his watch.
I want to show my men that I'm with you. I'll be going with you in the operation. I will be the one to attend the court hearings. I know what I'm doing. I know what is my job. So they cannot pull me. I know the do's and the don'ts here. So much more. I know if they're doing something fishy or not.
In the Philippines, the punishment for drug dealing is draconian. No matter what amount a pusher is found with, the sentence will be the same. They face the prospect of 15 years to life imprisonment. It's a heavy price to pay. Prison in the Philippines is hard. In some cases, prison cells designed for 20 inmates house 200. And over the next 8 years, the prison population is estimated to increase by 13% a year.
In the heart of Southeast Asia is the Philippines. The capital, Manila, is a teeming metropolis of crime. And for the cops, hostage sieges, bombings and prison breaks are all in a day's work.
In the Philippines, the cops are on the front line of a crime battle being played out on the streets. In just 2 months of 2008 alone, 20 officers of the Philippines National Police were killed in the line of duty. And tonight, Jojo De La Cruz and the SWAT team are about to put their lives on the line yet again. They're preparing for a big operation in Tondo. It's called a saturation drive. They will enter an area where they believe wanted criminals are located. And they will attempt to flush out the felons for whom they have arrest warrants. Some of them are serious criminals wanted for murder. One of the officers heading out on the raid is 31-year-old Joel Kazupanan. As well as his body armour and his M16, he's also armed with his prayer book.
It gives me strength, and I can feel the presence. I can feel the presence of the Lord whenever I'm down and in crisis.
Joel joined the force to help provide for his mother and 2 younger brothers. Since he was a boy, he has been head of the family.
My father passed away when I was only 11. So it is my mother who raised us.
What do they think of you being a policeman and specifically being in the SWAT team?
They're proud of me. I guess.
Having lost her husband, Joel's mother doesn't want to lose her son.
She said just always take good care and pray.
Joel and his fellow officers are briefed on who they are looking for and where they think they will be.
These are our target personalities.
We'll proceed to the area and then we will search every house to look for the people in the photographs.
The talking and the planning is over. Now it's time for action. Joel knows from past experience on saturation drives that this is a dangerous mission.
Well, times like this, you feel nervous and you don't know what will going to happen there. One of the unforgettable moments was the raid conducted in Quiapo. We were surprised by one of the suspects when we were about to enter the building. One of our men was fatally shot.
They arrive at the target location and head into the Parola on foot. They are closing in on their targets. Some of the other SWAT officers who entered the slum from a different entrance have caught up with the suspects. The saturation drive has caught them unawares as they have been casually playing pool. But their game is up. The mission is complete and Joel and his team are all in one piece. He lets his family know that he's safe.
We have rounded up some of the suspects, I believe, and we are still going to check their identity when we get back to the station.
The next morning, Jojo takes some of his little free time to spend with his family. His visits are often brief, and because of the dangers he faces in his job, he can never be sure that the next one won't be his last.
It's in your mind and in your heart. You must be at all times ready for that. If you're a policeman, half of is in the ground. If you're a SWAT member, only your head is not in the ground. Your head is on top of the ground. The whole body is underneath.